very friendly once they know who you are, and of
Mm-hmm.
course, like, we treat strangers the same way they treat theirs, and they don't really trust the stranger until they understand what the stranger wants or what he's doing. But I almost never had any violent situations. There was a time though in Zambia where every day I'd ride my bike through a certain area of town, and there was wood shops all around this area. I don't know if it was like this in Kenya, but people get the idea where, you know, I'm gonna sell tomatoes outside my house, and then the lady next door says, "Hey, that's a good idea. I'm gonna do it too." And then the person next door to that person does the same thing, and so before you know it, you have 30 tomato stands all in a row, and I don't know why. So in this particular area, it was like 30 wood carpenters in a row, and made doors and bed frames and things. And I would pass by this area every morning and every afternoon on my way home. And so it got to the point where all the woodcutters there knew who I was. And so one day I'm going by, and these four men stop me, and they're holding hammers and chisels and stuff, and I just figured they work there. They just want to say hi. So I pull over, and my companion is a few meters ahead of me, so he's talking to someone else. I'm on my bike, and one man grabs my handlebars, one grabs my back tire, and the other two stand beside me. Now they're speaking in Bemba, and I wasn't fluent in Bemba at the time, but I could pick up basically what they were saying. And they were basically threatening me, saying, you know, like, we don't like you coming around teaching our wives when we're at work. Like, don't come back around here anymore. Just like Richie said, we don't really, the church doesn't support illegal action or bribes or threats. And for my mission, we were trained on just invite them to church, and usually they'll either see that you're innocent and leave you alone, or they'll be too embarrassed to do anything, because messing with a man of God, no matter his faith, is really bad against the normal African belief, because they're very faithful people.
Mm-hmm.
And so as I'm inviting these men to church, and completely unaware of what might happen to me if they don't leave me alone, I start noticing all the carpenters start coming out of their shops, and they start coming towards my bike. So now it's not 4 people around my bike, it's about 30. And they all have chisels and saws and hammers, and they all look exactly the same, and their dirty work clothes and sawdust flying everywhere. So one man steps forward, and he says, Pastor Mazungu, which is like Pastor White Man in Bemba. He says, are these friends of yours? And so the 4 guys who were around my bike, they let go of my bike right away and take a step back. And I say, oh yeah, you know, they're friends of mine. I'm just inviting them to church, you know, just making my normal rounds in the morning. So the carpenter replies going, okay, good. If they weren't friends of yours, we were going to take care of them for you.
Oh.
And so then they all made a path and kind of let me go, and I invited them all to church, and none of them came, but it was a fun situation to see how the only violence that these people could come up with was anytime they felt their faith or their family was being threatened. And it was a learning experience for me, definitely.